This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I am excited and fired up to talk to you again today after having spoken about finding your purpose in the last video. Today, I want to help you to specifically find the right career for you. There's a fantastic quote in the book Slight Edge by Jeff Olson where he says that the plan you start out with will not be the plan that will get you there. The plan you start out with will not be the plan that gets you there. Which means that in order for you to achieve the exponential joy and happiness that we continuously talk about, the initial plan you make is going to be a faulty one. You're going to suck at making a plan for you. You're not going to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. You're not going to know what people need. You're not going to know what to offer them. You're not going to know what kind of problems people have. But you need to set an initial plan that gets you out of the starting gate. Getting out of the starting gate is the most important thing. If you never get started, you'll continuously be stuck where you've always been stuck. If you just get out of the starting gate when it comes to establishing your side hustle, when it comes to establishing your other 8 hours, what you do in those other 8 hours except for your full-time job, when you start that process, you're not going to know what you don't know. So you just got to start. So that's what we're doing in this video today. We're just helping you to start the process and not procrastinate you taking massive action in any direction. We just want you to get moving because you can't steer a parked car. It doesn't work. You want to be moving. No matter how slow you're moving in the beginning, you want to be moving. So now that we understand that it's not important what we do as long as we start the process in any form of direction in terms of learning how to sell and learning how to establish a business, now we can talk about what you want to do. And the important thing here is not thinking about what do I want to do when I grow up or what do I want to do in 5 years' time. You want to think about how do I want to live. When you ask the question of how do I want to live, what kind of lifestyle do I want to have, and you start writing those things down, things become exciting, things become clear. You begin to create a vision for yourself. So this is what I want you to do. Take a piece of paper and I want you to take this week. Use your other 8 hours. Maybe you manage to get 3 hours every single day out of those 8 hours where you literally sit down and plan out your life. If you haven't done this, it's time to get going with this. You're practicing seed retention on the side and then you're beginning to plan out your life. You're beginning to set goals. Because if you don't have goals, if you don't have dreams with deadlines, you're going to continuously struggle to overcome yourself and be disciplined with the seed retention because you're always going to be relapsing and I just can't get over myself. It's because you don't have a goal. You don't want to be focused on the seed retention. The seed retention happens all on its own as long as you're focused on making things happen with your side hustle. So what are you going to do? You sit down with a piece of paper or with a pen and you begin to write out, this is my suggestion, 100 different possible things to do. 100. Find 100 different things that produces income. And when I talk about income, you've got two different incomes. You've got active income, which requires your presence, and then you've got passive income, which doesn't require your presence, but it requires for you to put in a massive effort for free that potentially could be paying you forever and ever, as long as that niche and industry is still present. I would say 20 of those 100 possible things that you should be doing should be in terms of active income, meaning this is a profession that you'd get fired up, passionate outside your brain. You can't believe that you're being paid for doing that, but it requires your presence. You have to be there. You have to do the things that is required. This could be feminine professions, I would call them, as for example, being an artist or being an actor or doing things that requires your presence, but you absolutely love it, and that's why it's an active income. So put that on there, just 20% of them, and then 80% of them needs to be based on passive income. You'd be like, 80 ways to create passive income, man? You must be insane. Establishing a business is not one of those 80 ways. It could be 80 different potential businesses that you could set up. One could potentially be a pet store where you sell pet clothes and food for pets. Another aspect could be to start an air-conditioned business. Another one could be start a YouTube channel. There's tons of ways that you can set up a business. But set up 80 different suggestions after going online, going on YouTube, searching how to make money online, how to make passive income, and then researching it, watching video after video after video after video, and then noting down, what could I potentially do? What would I get fired up outside my brain about doing that could help me to get passive income? Once you've got those 100 ideas down on paper, keep it to yourself. Those are your ideas. It might take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, who cares? Now it's time to eliminate. You begin to go through the paper and you really start to look at your life and your lifestyle that you desire. You think about how long would it take to establish this kind of business? Do I really want to be known as the guy who does this type of business? And you start running through your mind like, do I really like this one? Let me just clear those out. And then you get down to 20 potential businesses or jobs in terms of the active income. You've got 20 left. With those 20, now you can begin to do some proper investigations. Figure out, how do these people who have these professions or who have these businesses live their lives? How fired up are they about helping others? How fired up are they about their families? How fired up are they in general about everything that's going on in their life? Investigate. How much do they actually make? And is that profession or business financial crisis proof? Meaning, if everything went bazookas and 50 to 60% of the whole world market collapsed and you were left with 40 to 50% of what we have today, would your business still be around? Ask yourself the many difficult questions until you begin to cut even more, until you're left with 3 potential jobs or businesses. These 3, you should be willing to work for free for 1 to 2 years in these businesses or professions. Willingness to work for free on top of your full-time job. Your full-time job you've got to have because you got to keep a head above water. And you got to build up some savings and build up some capital and just keep doing that full-time job continuously. But then you've got the other 8 hours and you're going to spend at least 3 hours consistently out of those 8 hours per day to do this side hustle. And you're going to look at these 3 and you're going to think about it. Which one can I potentially get started with right away? Nothing stops me. I don't need any cash or capital to get started. I just need to get started making money and selling something, offering something to the marketplace. Out of those 3, you're going to be able to choose which one you want to do, and you're going to be fired up, excited about it outside of your brain. And remember, the plan you start with is not the plan that's going to get you to that exponential joy and happiness and establishing your financial foundation necessarily. It's awesome if it is, because then you can just start and run with it. But if it's not, then just start out, begin running in that direction and creating the income that you want to create from that type of business. Start running in that direction. Even if it's not making you any money, figure out how to monetize it as soon as possible. If you know someone who is massively successful in that industry, in that niche, that you could learn from, that if you learn from that person, it could save you 5 years of time, and you know that this is something that you're passionate about, that you really want to be doing, then you should be willing to be mentored by this person and work for free for 3 hours every single day for 1 to 2 years under his leadership, doing simply the dumbest of things that he asks you to do. Because that is going to help you to understand the process of success. That's going to help you to understand his secrets and what he's learned over the past years, where he's been in this business, in this niche for a long time. There are guys out there who are massively successful that don't want to do the nitty-gritty part of their business anymore. They just want freedom, but they know what they know and they can teach this to other people, but they don't really want to think about having to pay employees. If you tell them that you're willing to work for free, completely for free, just to learn what he's done, start that process now, as soon as possible. If he says no, you will not take no for an answer, because you're fired up outside of your brain to learn what he's learned in that niche and market. Do you have a problem with working for free? Why should you have a problem with working for free? Because if you work for free, man, it's going to make you rich. You gotta be willing to work for free. Very soon, within 6 months to a year, you will find out if this is the direction you want to be in. You will understand that this is my life. I want to do this. I want to set up a huge business around this. Then you massively just keep going. And after you've worked with that guy, having him as a mentor for a certain period of time, you will have made yourself indispensable because you've learned every single aspect of the trade. And he wants you to continue working with him, meaning he will pay you to continue to work with him, or you can choose to start out on your own and have all of the secrets that he's given to you, not because you want to be his competition, but because you now can establish something better and stronger, and be grateful for everything that you've learned. What if out of the 3 or the 20 or the 100 things, you chose one thing that you did not want to do long term, and you've now spent 1 year or 2 years working for free perhaps for this guy? Well, guess what? You will have put in place tons of amazing habits in your life, which has allowed you to work 10-hour days or more in the thing that you desire to do, which means that you can choose any of the other things on that list, or something else that you might have learned about in the future that you don't know about right now, and massively move in that direction. This is way better than going to college, university, trying to figure out, I don't know what to do with my life. This is a process that takes just a week to sit down and figure out once and for all what you can take 10x actions in, and then do it. Make it happen on a daily basis until you begin to see some form of result. And once you begin to see results, you can see if this is what you desire to keep on doing. And if it's not, then you try the next thing, but at least you're taking 10x massive action, learning from those that have been before you, that have massive results in the industry, and you're working for free. And you can do that because you've got a full-time job on the side, and you don't have women, you don't have any bad addictions, you don't have a family or kids that drowns you right at this point in time. You don't get women and children at a time when you don't have massive passive income, because it makes it so that you can't focus, you can't take risks, you can't do the things that you could do when you were single. Make sure that you spend this time wisely. It's the foundation that's most important. The time that's most important on the rocket ship going towards the moon or Mars or wherever, the most important aspect that requires the most energy, the most fired up potential and excitement is the time when it is launching from planet Earth. That's when it needs as much fuel as possible in order to make the ascent. And once it's up in the air, then it's basically smooth sailing after that. And you want to get to that smooth sailing point as fast as possible. And that's what we've got this channel for. I'm there for you, man. Make things happen. Write down that list. 120, 3, and 1. And take 10x action. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next video.